We're so excited to be here with you. We've missed you all. The past 6 months have been so different for us. We haven't been able to have our parties, our training, our networking events. And well, who would have thought that here we would be sitting at home in our kitchens and living rooms presenting the Caribbean? But that's the climate that we're in right now. It is a period of change, but regardless of what, the Caribbean is here for you, and we want to ensure that you, our valid agents, still have all the information that you need to sell the Caribbean. Yes, there are changes, but we've got the experts here with us today who are going to be able to update you, share information with you, tell you where you can find additional information. We're still your Caribbean. And just before I introduce all our speakers, I was just reflecting on what do I miss about the Caribbean? There's so many things I miss: the warmth, the food, the tours, the people. But then I thought, come on, Carol, be honest. What's your favorite? And you know what? It's all our wonderful Caribbean rums and cocktails. And just because I was going to be here with you today, I thought, let me just reminisce and get my rum collection out. And I hope that as time goes on, we'll all be able to meet back in the Caribbean, sample some of the best rums because we're famous for them. And some of you are going to be very lucky. And today you might win a trip to the Caribbean or a fam trip or a goodie bag. So who's giving away those lovely treats? Well, these are the presenters that we have for you today. We have Bukuti and Tara Resorts, and Mika will be speaking on behalf and sharing. After Mika, we're going to have a lovely presentation from the Cayman Islands, which will be delivered by Irene. That's
Hi.
going to be followed by a presentation from Discover Dominica Tourism. And Darren Devines is going to share some great adventures from Dominica with us. The adventure doesn't stop there because we're then going to move to Montserrat. And we're very happy that Warren Solomon, who is the Director of Tourism for Montserrat, he's going to join us and he's going to share some ideas with us about Montserrat, one of the hidden gems of the Caribbean. The fun doesn't end there. We're then going to hear from Ocean Hotels Barbados, and that is Andrew Hillier, who's going to take us through. And Andrew's all master. But don't worry, we're far enough away from you, Andrew, so you can take that mask off. And then, of course, it's going to be all about Sandals Resorts, and Leah Marshall is going to be here with us. And finally, we're going to be having some questions and answers, and that's going to be delivered by Florian Valmy-Devillers. Florian, Business Development Manager for the CTO chapter UK and Europe. He's going to take us through the program. We've also got a few sponsors videos as well, because it's great to hear from some of the others as well. So you're going to have videos, you're going to have presentations. The only thing you're not going to have tonight, unless you've got your own, is rum, but I'll have one for you. So spend the time with us, enjoy, and let's open with the first presentation, Bukuti and Tara Beach Resorts. Thank you all.
Thank you for that, Carol. I appreciate that. So we have a limited amount of time. We don't want to take up too much of your time, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my presentation right away. My name is Mika, and I've been proudly working for the Bukuti and Tara Beach Resort for the last 15 years. We are located in the southern part of the Caribbean. We can go ahead and start with the presentation. We are actually located just 15 miles off the border of Venezuela. We are belonging to the Kingdom of the Netherlands. We are outside of the hurricane belt, which means that you can visit us as well as the rest of the Caribbean year-round without any worries. We have a very dry and arid climate with temperatures reaching 28 to 30 degrees Celsius year-round. Getting there is absolutely no problem. We have nonstop flights from KLM with Amsterdam, and we connect through all major cities in the EU. The Aruba, along with the rest of the Caribbean, have gone to extensive lengths to make sure that we have COVID-19 health and safety protocols in place. That also includes Bukuti and Tara Beach Resort. We have made sure that we go above and beyond what we need to do to make sure that we offer you the healthiest and safest vacation in the Caribbean. Bukuti and Terra Beach Resort is owner managed. That means there's no shareholders, and anything that Mr. Beamans decides needs renovating gets renovated. We were one of the few resorts in the Caribbean that did not have to close during the COVID-19. We invited nurses, health staff, experts to come in and teach us all of the health and safety protocols that we now have in place. And this is the reason why people come to us. 14 acres of beautiful powder white sand made just for you. Put your feet in the sand, rest, relaxation, and wellness is what's on the menu for us. We are the home of social distancing. As you can see here, our chairs have always been at least 8 meters apart from the next partner. We are a couples-only, adults-only resort that cater to the well-being of the guests that we cater to, as well as them spending time among themselves to reconnect, celebrating anniversaries, honeymoons, weddings, romantic getaways, yes, anything the heart desires. Any award that you can think of in the Caribbean or even partly worldwide, we have been honored to. This year, we were named the Caribbean's #1 resort overall in 2020. We were also named the most romantic resort in the Caribbean, according to TripAdvisor in 2020. Whether it's Condé Nast, Forbes, or the best of the best, you will find us on that list. We've incorporated a new package, which already started last year, but it came in quite handy now during the COVID times. Honeymoon like a rock star with the VIP arrival. We meet you right off the plane, handle your luggage, whisk you through arrivals, customs and immigration in your beautiful black sedan or SUV. You get dropped off curbside. You are met by your personal concierge that has a chilled glass of champagne ready for you. You bypass any check-in procedures, straight to your room, and briefed as to what your sanctuary will look like for you. Curated romantic experiences are made up by a personal concierge, whether it's a champagne sunset on the beach just for two, whether it's wellness on the beach just for two, or our Montserrat, which is our boat that is exclusively catered in the evenings for the sundown cruise just for the Bukuti guests. And your vacation doesn't stop there. As I mentioned earlier, wellness is the biggest part of our program, and we offer a complete vegan and customized menus for those people coming down. Vegan and vegetarian are not just without the meat. They are really well-created, delicious meals for any palate. Whether you're a vegetarian or not, you're going to want to try these dishes. We also have Census Chefs Roundtable. It is for a very small group of people to be with our award-winning chef who's running the Census Chefs table, and he cooks for you right on the spot. And it's not just an evening for your palate, but an evening to experience. One of our greatest beloved booked concierge packages is our picnic on the beach. We have a whole picnic set up just for you to enjoy with your loved one. And this is our idea of social distancing at night, romantic dinners on the beach. These are our 4 palapas, and you can book one of 2 settings, whether it's a romantic evening to watch the sunset or a romantic evening under the stars. We have your personal butler that brings you a 5-course meal. Wellness is very important to us. At Bukuti, we always make sure that we don't charge you for every little thing. The price that you pay is everything included. We are not an all-inclusive, we are bed and breakfast, but there's no extra charge if you'd like to get up and have a nice round of oceanfront Pilates with us, do some yoga on the beach, have a mindfulness beach walk, learn about vegan cooking demonstrations, or even have the advice of a strength and conditioning trainer with us. Here you have a few images. The machines that you see here actually generate energy for the resort. Being one of the most environmental resorts in the Caribbean, we were the first carbon neutral hotel to be certified in the Caribbean. And part of that is that our exercise equipment actually generates the energy that is used in the resort. This is your sanctuary, the Terra Suite. These are one of 41 units that are directly oceanfront, ocean view. As I said before, we have trained the staff, we have high-tech equipment, which we'll see on the next slide, that actually does the room sanitation. We've learned from the nurses and doctors that have stayed with us how to utilize the high-grade, hospital-grade disinfection. Here is a few images of our penthouse suites. We have 4 of these, and that palapa that you saw earlier for the romantic dinner is actually the palapa for the penthouse suite. The penthouse suites for us, even during the COVID time, have been booked simply because the price is just perfect. Here you have a few images of our beachfront rooms. These are the deluxe rooms. They do overlook the property and is located in the wing that has 63 units in it, combined of standard, superior, and deluxe oceanfront rooms. Of course, Mr. Beemans, the owner and manager of the resort, used the opportunity during the break of COVID to renovate once again. The beach bar, the pool, and the restaurant have been brought up to COVID-19 standards to make sure everybody is safe and healthy. And this is just one of our shots of the pool. The sunset view from the pool is just breathtaking. This is one of our signature shots, and it was actually shot by a guest that stayed with us, and we loved the picture of the pool. We are also one of the few resorts that not only celebrate happy hour, as Carol was saying before, we also celebrate healthy hour. We have mocktails that make you feel refreshed after your day on the beach. And this is a picture of our newly renovated sandbar. As you can see, COVID-19 protocols here are very well established. Again, another view with our loungers nicely spread apart. The sunset champagne on the beach with your own private butler is also a very well booked product for us. And here we also have once a week movie night, and the popcorn is again complimentary. Environment is one of our main characteristics for the resort. Mr. Beemans and his entire team make sure that the resort is absolutely one of the best environmentally set hotels in the world. As a matter of fact, Green Globe nominated and cured us to the #1 green hotel in the entire world in 2018, simply because we are so far beyond the Green Globe qualifications and still maintain we have the gold travel life, and as I said earlier, we are the first carbon neutral hotel in the Caribbean. And here you have a few images of what our restaurant, the evening sunsets, of course the Caribbean in general is very famous for our sunsets, and that beautiful white pristine beach that everybody is longing to see and put their feet in. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that we get to see you soon and welcome you to the Bucuti and Terra Beach Resort. Thank you.
Thank you, Mika. That was so interesting. Now, I haven't actually had the opportunity to visit Aruba yet, but having seen that presentation on Bucuti and Tara, I'm like, wow, I would love to go there. And I think for many of us who, you often hear people say, oh, I think I want to eat a bit less meat, but having seen those vegan dishes, I'm like, wow, I would definitely sample some of those. And before we move on to
our next... We would love to
next...
have you.
Absolutely. And before we move on, I must share that one of the things I know that is very close to the hotel and the beach is a webcam. And at the beginning of lockdown, when I was really missing the Caribbean and the sunsets, there were a few times I actually went onto the webcam and just looked at the view and everything surrounding the hotel area. So I think that's a great thing to do. And I'm going to say to a lot of the agents on our call with us now, find out, which of the hotels have got webcams. And sometimes that's where you should sip your next Prosecco, wine, mocktail, rum. You can still enjoy the Caribbean from thousands of miles away. So we're now going to welcome Irene from Cayman Islands Department of Tourism, who's going to tell us now how we can learn more about the Cayman Islands and share more, even though we're thousands of miles away. Over to you, Irene.
Hi, Carol. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. I have to say that I've done the same thing with the webcams, especially at the beginning. And I've seen the 7 Mile Beach all alone waiting for me. But anyway, I'm delighted to be here today. And thank you for joining us. And well, my name is Irene Orozco. I'm sales executive for the UK and continental Europe for the Cayman Islands Department of Tourism. And of course, I would love to take you physically to the Cayman Islands, but while we can't do it, hopefully soon. But in the meantime, I hope I can bring the Cayman Islands to you right now. And before I start my presentation, I'm going to show you a short video about the Cayman Islands. So I hope you enjoy that. I'm a bit nostalgic right now. Well, let's start with the location. Where are the Cayman Islands located? Well, of course, we're talking about the Caribbean, but more exactly, they're located south of Cuba and west of Jamaica. And well, you can see that compared to the neighbors, they're quite small. There are 3 tiny islands, but I like to say that they are like the good perfumes. They're in small bottles, but very intense. And even if they're small, they still have more than 135 nationalities, 365 dive sites, and over 200 restaurants, and all of them are amazing. In terms of routes from the UK, there are 2 main ways to get there. The first one would be flying direct with British Airways. We have direct flights from London Heathrow 4 times a week with a touchdown in Bahamas, but technically still direct. There's no connection flight. And the other option could be taking a connection flight in Miami, okay? Flying to Miami, then taking another flight that would take you to Grand Cayman in 1 hour. Also, you can do twin centers with different cities in the United States, Canada, and also other lovely destinations in the Caribbean, such as Cuba, Jamaica, Honduras, and of course Bahamas, because we have these flights connecting 2 islands. Yes. So these are our 3 islands. We have Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, and Little Cayman. Grand Cayman is the largest of the 3 islands and the main entry point for travelers, and also is where most of our visitors could stay, at least for the majority of their stay. As you can see, the western part of the island is slightly busier. It's not that it's super busy at all, but you can see that there's more buildings. It's because we have the 7 Mile Beach, which is considered one of the most beautiful beaches in the Caribbean. And well, we have a few hotels and a lot of restaurants and bars around. Then we have Georgetown, the capital, and we have the airport. And then we have Easton, which is much quieter. And between the western part of the island and the eastern part of the island, we have around 1 hour drive, just so you know, in terms of distances. And we have 2 main roads. It's very easy to drive around. And what can we do in Grand Cayman? Well, we have different historic and natural sites we can visit. We have free shopping, and one of my favorite activities is actually go for a nice dinner. And these are some of the pictures I've taken with my phone, this phone that is broken. But just to show you that, of course, we have marketing pictures, but even like anyone with a phone can take breathtaking pictures. There's no filter, there's no editing. These are the colors, these are the islands. Okay, it's just amazing. Next slide, please. And then we have the sister islands. That's how we call them. We have Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. These two islands on the little map there, you can see them very close, but actually Cayman Brac and Little Cayman are around 90 miles away from Grand Cayman, which means that to go there, you have to take a flight, but it's very quick. It only takes 30 minutes. There are several flights every day between the three islands. And in the case of Cayman Brac, it's a bit more rocky than the other two islands, and it's perfect for natural lovers and people who like soft adventure. So you can go diving, snorkeling, bird watching, hiking. There are different caves you can explore. And yeah, it's quite, compared to Cayman, Grand Cayman, which is already calm, Cayman Brac is only 12 miles long, and it has only 3,000 inhabitants, so it's quite calm. But then we have Little Cayman. And Little Cayman, it's only 5 minutes flight away from Cayman Brac, and it has only a population of 165 permanent residents. It's the Robinson Crusoe experience. You can very, very easily be on a beach on your own. Just the image of desert island in the Caribbean that you have in your mind, it's very close to that. And the three islands are perfect for diving, but Little Cayman is probably the most famous because of the diving spots. And of course, perfect for relaxation and for romantic weekends. Next slide, please. And these are, again, some of the pictures I taken during my trips, including a fam trip on the corner, to show you how they look like. And very quickly, a few things that make the Cayman Islands different. I like to say that every little big island in the Caribbean is beautiful and amazing in their own way, but this is us. This is what makes us different. So the first thing is that we are a British overseas territory, so there's a big connection with the United Kingdom. English is the official language, and of course, no visas required. And also, something that makes us different is that we are a luxury Caribbean destination, so you can expect fantastic hotels and beautiful beaches, but it doesn't mean that we don't have anything to do and see. We have an abundance of experiences and attractions. Just some pictures, some of our beaches, including the 7 Mile Beach, but not only. We also have one image of Owen Island, which is an uninhabited island in front of Little Cayman, and actually you can kayak there and have a picnic there. And there, that's definitely uninhabited. Sorry. Next slide, please. I'm showing you here some of our hotels and villas. We specialize in luxury accommodation, but it doesn't mean that we don't have some mid-range options and also a lot of diving resorts, because again, we're an important dive destination. And what can we do in the Cayman Islands? Well, there's a few things that I'm going to show you here. I don't have time to go through everything, but for example, all the water sports you can imagine, exploring caves, hiking, horseback riding. We have submarine tours, we have helicopter tours, and one of my favorite things is actually the bioluminescence tour. You go with a kayak to a bay in Grand Cayman, where you can see, at least for 2 weeks every month, during the evening, when you're kayaking, you can see the plankton glowing in the dark, and it looks like fairy dust. Also, it's a perfect place for nature lovers. We have very special species, especially birds. We have over 200 species of birds some only found in the Cayman Islands. And also we have reptiles, such as this guy here, our friend, the blue iguana. We also call it the blue dragon. It looks like a dragon. And you can only find this species in Grand Cayman. It's protected and it's very, very lovely. This one is Peter, actually. I know the names of some of them. Next slide, please. And then we have scuba diving, very, very important. Again, as I said, 365 dive sites, which mean that you could dive in a different site every day of the year. Perfect visibility, high quality coral reefs, and they're very close to the island, so very easy to get there. And even if you don't dive, if you're not certified, you can also do many of these sites snorkeling. Yeah. And one of our most famous attraction is Stingray City. This is not a pool. This is a point in the middle of the Caribbean Sea, not too far from Grand Cayman, where there's a sandbar and there's quite a few stingrays that gather there, and you can swim with them and interact with them. They're wild, but they're used to humans, and they're actually very kind and very affectionate. So it's a very unique experience. And one of my favorite subjects is food. The food in the Cayman Islands is amazing. We are usually considered the culinary capital of the Caribbean, and you can find the fine dining experiences with fusion between Caribbean food and international food, but also you can find the typical Caymanian Caribbean food in a shack on the beach, serving fish fry and confiters and everything in between. And again, some of the pictures I taken when I was there, and I'm getting very nostalgic again. Oh, it was very tasty. I can't wait to go back. And finally, the people. Forbes magazine appointed the Cayman Islands the friendliest nation on earth based on the votes of the readers of Forbes. And as I mentioned, we have people from all over the world. We have over 130 nationalities. So there's this melting pot in the Cayman Islands, and everyone is welcome and feels home when they're there. So, and finally, who to sell it to? As I said, yeah, we're mainly a luxury destination. So our typical profile would be someone with a higher income, who's used to travel the world, but maybe is looking for something different, but still used to first-class accommodation and expects fantastic food and the beach and relaxation, but also maybe something to do and explore freely the islands, because it's a very safe destination. Also very important, I forgot to tell you, we only have 2 hotels that can do all-inclusive, but we are not an all-inclusive destination, nothing against it, but it's just not us. We really encourage people to rent a car and drive around and explore the islands and try restaurants, try shacks, and look for a cove for themselves and just do it at their own pace. And well, that was almost everything. Just an update regarding COVID-19, of course. The Cayman Islands have been doing pretty well considering the situation. There was a lockdown quite early. I think it was even before the UK, so March. And at the moment, the borders are still closed. We are expecting the borders to reopen on the 1st of October, to start with a phased reopening, which means that not everything is going to be back to normal on the first day, but hopefully things are going to be back to normal very soon, or as normal as possible, of course. We've been very good doing tests as well. We were number 4 in the world with testings, and I think for sure, half of the population or more have been tested already. And for the last 2 months, we have barely 2 or 3 cases, I think it is. And the cases that we've detected were already in quarantine, and they actually arrived in Cayman. They were repatriated from abroad. So when they arrived, they were put in quarantine and they were tested, and they were found that, they had the COVID-19. They're all fine. So hopefully it's quite, the moment is pretty much controlled, the situation, and we are making sure that once we open for tourism, the destination stays safe, both for locals and also for visitors. And that's me. Thank you very much for listening. This is my email address. If you need anything, please do not hesitate to contact me. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the event.
Thank you so much, Irene. A really great presentation. And I must say, I love your photography. Could be that I love food, but I love the photography. You really did the food justice. And also, it's great to get the updates on how the destination is coping with COVID-19 and some of the programs in place. And I just want to remind everyone that's with us now that if you go to our website, caribbean.co.uk, you'll always be able to get up-to-date information in the news section and the trade section as to what's happening in the Caribbean. So we're going to move on. And as well as presentations, we've also got a number of sponsors videos. So now we're going to have a quick look at a video presentation by the Tobago Tourism Agency.
It's only when I go abroad and I see what is out there and I come back and I measure against what is here. There is no comparison to beauty.
In some writings of our history, it is said that Christopher Columbus called it Bella Fauna, meaning beautifully formed.
Natural, beautiful, peaceful. Yes, I get emotional. That's why I'm here.
One of the fascinating things about nature, there is always something new, and especially in the tropics where there's such wide diversity, persons can experience and have the awe associated with some of the beaches we have, aquatic life we have, some of the fascinating birds we have within a day, within a short period of time.
You have the Caribbean Sea on one side, you have the Atlantic Ocean on the other side. On our doorstep, a fringe reef that wraps around the entire area. You have this huge amount of biodiversity and liveliness of the entire water that surrounds the island. We also do bioluminescent nighttime tours, which are like an escape into the deep, dark secrets of this, glowing phenomenon. It's like this almost cosmic effect. It's just something to be seen.
I know everybody in the village, and everybody know me. That is the nice thing about here.
Tobago is used to the extended family. There was always a grandmother, aunt, uncle. There was always love.
We eat and we drink, we laugh, and everything together.
Tobago, in one word to me, beautiful. Beautiful place to live.
It gives me great pleasure to be in Tobago and do what I do.
The sunsets here are probably bar none some of the nicest I've seen.
I would describe Tobago of one of the clean, serene, and the best place that anyone could come. Be easy, be happy, and have a good time. There is nothing to compare to.
This little dot called Tobago exists, and come visit.
A beautiful video presentation of Tobago. We're now going to move on to a presentation from Discover Dominica Tourism, and that's Darren Devine. So Darren, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for having me. My name is Darren, and I represent the Discover Dominica Authority in the UK market. Welcome to Dominica. Dominica is an island in the Caribbean situated between Martinique and Guadeloupe, two French-speaking islands, though Dominica is an English-speaking one. Dominica, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic, has claimed the badge of the nature island of the Caribbean, purely because that's exactly what it is. Low density in population. There's only 70,000 inhabitants on the island, and the rest of it is as God intended. When Christopher Columbus was discovering the various islands of the Caribbean, and he sailed past Dominica, when he went back to report to the king at the time, he was asked to describe the island, and what he did is that he grabbed a piece of paper, crumpled it, and threw it on a desk, and he said that was Dominica. And hopefully over the next few slides, you'll see why. So the island is only 26 miles, 16 miles by 29 miles in dimensions. Only 2/3 of it is heavily covered by rainforests, and the rest of it's just amazing rivers and waterfalls, of which there's 365, so one for every day of the year that you're visiting. It maintains over 12,000 plant species and over 180 bird species. And it is also the home of the Caribbean's largest remaining indigenous population of Carib people called the Kalanagos. And another claim to fame is that it has the world's second largest fumarole or boiling lake. So to get there from the UK, I pretty much say as long as you can get to the islands of Antigua, Puerto Rico, Barbados, and Martin, St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, and Martinique, you can get to Dominica because it's only between 25 and 40 minutes flight from any of those destinations into the Douglas Charles Airport. And also there's opportunities to get to the island by sea via there's a catamaran service from Guadeloupe, Martinique, and St. Lucia as well. It's a cruise destination through the months of roughly mid to beginning October through to April. You can see brands such as Royal Caribbean, Princess Cruises, Celebrity Cruises, Costa Cruises, and NCL visit the island. It docks into the capital city of Roseau, where there's opportunities to go for half-day tours, walks, historical hiking trails, etc. So definitely worthwhile if you're exploring the Caribbean via sea. So this is a close-up of the capital city. Visitors can explore. There's an urban tour that takes about 40 minutes along the seafront, and there's opportunities to visit lots of the markets. There's bars and restaurants that serve both local cuisine and international cuisine. Dominica has positioned itself as a big outdoor gym and spa, purely because it is just all natural. There's no synthetic foods produced on the island. Everything is locally grown, locally produced. The island benefits from fumaroles and hot springs as well. So pretty much on a day out, you can go and hike by agricultural grounds and go for a nice soak in some of the hot springs and the boiling pools that they have. It's got the Waitukubuli National Trail, which is the longest hiking trail in the Caribbean. It's about 150 miles long, and it can take approximately 2 weeks to hike the entire thing. It's designed into 14 various segments. So if you wanted to go for a 20-minute hike, there's actually a 20-minute tour that you can do on segment 3, for example. But there's lots of trails to explore. There's over 300 miles of them across the island. So you really visit the destination to be outside and explore. It's an outside destination. So over the next few slides, we'll cover some of the top reasons why to visit Dominica. And the first reason is because of its nature. Backdropped by heavily protected rainforests, there's canyons, there's waterfalls, there's rivers, there's river tubing, there's whitewater rafting, there's hot springs, and the boiling lake, of course. To get to the boiling lake, it's a 4-hour hike. And you can take an egg and you can put it to the edge of the water and it can be boiled in a few minutes. But not to swim in, but definitely something to go and explore. and the muds and the sands around the boiling lake is actually quite good for your face, and that's free, so you don't have to pay for that treatment. It's a birdwatcher's paradise. Over 179 species reside on the island. The most famous are the Cicero, which is the imperial parrot, and the Jacko is another parrot, but it's also commonly known as the red-necked parrot. It's great for hiking, to see the birds, especially along the Syndicate Nature Trail and the Indian River. And again, there's the Waitukubuli National Trail. So it's a great destination to see birds, and they're pretty much everywhere, so you don't have to spend a great deal of time in hides looking to see the species. Within 20 minutes, you're definitely bird watching and checking those species off your list. Do go chasing waterfalls. There are numerous waterfalls on the island, but the most sort of like easily accessible and common ones is the Emerald Pool, which is a 40-foot drop, and it's got this perfect pool to the bottom for swimming in. And then there's a Trafalgar Falls, which is a twin waterfall with one larger than the other. One is just over 200 feet tall and the other is just 100 feet tall. But again, it's a nice sort of like 35, 40-minute hike to see these waterfalls. And the best thing is that you work hard to get there, and then you can actually just relax in the pools at the bottom. Right, so hiking and trekking is the second reason. So there's tons and tons of trails zigzagging across the entire island, but the most common trail is the one that transcends from the north of the island to the south, and that's the Waitukubuli National Trail. Waitukubuli is actually the original Kalinago word for tall is her body, in reflection to the shape of the island. So along this trail, you can do a casual 10 or 20-minute hike. Otherwise, if you're a hardcore and you're happy to go camping, you can do the entire trail in just under 2 weeks. Along the trail, there's chances to encounter historic ruins. There's other waterfalls, there's rivers, and mind you, the rivers come from the mountains. There's no need for filters. You can just jump in and swallow and drink. It's absolutely perfect drinking water. And along your hiking route, there's chances to go and have a bit of a soak in some of the hot springs. There's trails that are difficult, and there are trails for those who are just non-hikers as well, who just want to immerse themselves in nature. The third reason to visit Dominica is for its diving. It's actually one of the top dive destinations in the world. And one of the reasons why it's got this area known as Champagne Reef. And because Dominica is a passive volcanic destination, there are these pockets of sulfuric activity. And there's an area in the ocean where you can actually go snorkeling and scuba diving, and it's like swimming in a glass of champagne. But there's tons of marine species to experience, and there are actually two marine reserves, one in Soufriere and the other in Cabritz, where everything is just in pristine condition. So it's got healthy coral, and the dive centers on the island are all expertly run. Everyone's qualified, and it's just an amazing experience. Once a year, there's the dive festival that happens roughly every July as an opportunity to go diving, but to also understand the ecology of the destination. There's seminars, educational seminars, there's parties, there's everything for you to enjoy if you're a diver. If you don't dive, snorkeling is pretty amazing as well. Whale watching. Dominica is actually one of the only places in the world that maintains a resident pod of sperm whales in its waters. So pretty much all year round, you can go whale watching. It'll just take a boat journey of maybe within an hour, and you can actually see these amazing creatures. Along the way, you'll also be guided by dolphins doing acrobatics in the water. So pretty much 98% of the time that you try to go whale watching, there's whales there for you to spot. You can't actually dive with the whales, but you can actually go snorkeling as well. Canyoneering or canyoning, whether rock meets water, canyoning uses a natural environment as an adventure park. And that's entirely what Dominica is like. With all these rivers, there's opportunities to climb water faces, rappel down rock faces, jump into little pools, or just jump into a tube and sort of like go down the water. So it's a great adventure destination. The Kalinago people. Dominica maintains the largest population of Kalinagos, of indigenous people, and they're called the Kalinago people. They're the ones who gave the name Waitukubuli to the island. But it's an opportunity to go to their territory. They have a dedicated territory in the island, which is protected. And you can see how they make their food, they do their arts and crafts, and there's a sense of preservation about the way they live. And it's an opportunity to go and experience that. Health and wellness. It is a spa, this entire island, with all the hot springs. Some of the water from the fumaroles go underground and they come up in these little pockets dotted around the island. It's an opportunity to actually just have a spa day every day. A lot of the properties have the facilities to offer yoga, and this is combined with healthy food. Everything, again, is locally produced, locally grown. A lot of properties actually grow their own food. So I think it's an opportunity to visit and leave the destination with a cleaner body, cleaner mind, a healthier body and a healthier mind. So yeah, that's fine. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the films Pirates of the Caribbean, but episodes 2 and 3 were filmed in Dominica. They're actually across 5 different sites on the island. But one of the sort of like key ones is the Indian River. But in the film, it's called the Pontano River. And then you've got Cannibal Island, which is known as the Valley of Desolation, which you have to hike through to get to the Boiling Lake. And then you've got Shipwreck Cove, which is near Capuchin Cape. So that's another of the island's claim to fame. It's been on TV. Number 9 comes in for festivals. Throughout the course of the year, there's tons of opportunities to see what the island likes to party for. There's a Jazz and Creole Festival. There's a World Creole Music Festival. There's the Carnival in February. So there are tons of opportunities to visit, not just for festivals where you can party and drink, but there's festivals over food as well. And there's hike festivals. So any time of the year, there's something going on. And lastly, we come to cuisine. Dominica's cuisine is very homegrown. It's very sort of like natural and organic. And it is an island that's full of people who cook just like your mama did. So the food is all very healthy. As a matter of fact, Dominica's agricultural industry exports to many of the other islands. That's just how good the quality of the product is. Everything is sort of like very fresh. If you're eating fish or lobster, pretty much it's been caught that day. Everything is free range. And yeah, and that's pretty much it when it comes to cuisine. So thank you very much. That's been Dominica in a nutshell. And I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Darren. That was really interesting. And, right now we're going through this time of people, asking for experiences where they can actually, social distance and spend a bit more time out in nature. And I think that what you've shown us today is that Dominica, which is not always a popular destination, can really meet the needs of visitors to the Caribbean. And I think that what you've shown us has been really great. And what's exciting is that someone is going to win a fam trip place to Dominica, and that fam trip's going to be held in 2021. Now, if I was some of the agents out there right now, I'd be a bit scared, wondering, gosh, will I have to be doing some of that, rock climbing that I saw? Some people may be up to it. I'm not sure about me, but for sure I would enjoy all the nature, the food, and probably the easier hikes. But what we've learned today is that Dominica has something for everyone and a great place for those who want their experience to be less crowded, but at the same time have an opportunity to engage with the community and everyone. So that's really great. I think we've all learned a lot today. Thank you, Darren. So the adventure continues, and we're going to move straight into a presentation on Montserrat, and that's going to be presented by Warren Solomon, the Director of Tourism. So over to you, Warren.
Thank you so much, Carol, and hello to everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So we're referred to as the Emerald Isle Caribbean because of its Irish heritage and the resemblance of its coastline to Ireland. Montserrat is a British overseas territory located in the Eastern Caribbean, northwest of Guadeloupe, southwest of Antigua, and southeast of St. Kitts. Due to the volcanic activity in 1995 and 1997, the island has actually grown by an additional 5 square miles. So we're still growing up. The volcanic eruptions also caused more than half of the population to emigrate to places like the UK, US, and Canada, leaving a small but vibrant base of 5,000 residents. Having the only active volcano in the Caribbean, the Soufrière Hills volcano continues to be one of the main selling points of the island. And just below it is the island's former capital, Plymouth, now buried under 60 feet of ash and mud. It's known by many as the modern-day Pompeii. The island's small population and its intimate size, it really does make friendliness a national pastime. Lovers of outdoor and adventure would revel in the network of hiking trails and the spectacular landscapes and views. Like all Caribbean islands, of course, we have our fair share of gorgeous beaches, but with a twist, and great scuba diving. A little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. Our unique Afro-Irish heritage has caused Montserrat to be the only place outside of Ireland that celebrates St. Patrick's Day as a national holiday. And our proximity to Antigua makes our two islands an exciting twin island holiday option. 2/3 of the island is located in the exclusion zone and remains uninhabited. Like all islands in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Caribbean, we operate on Atlantic Standard Time. Flight time from main UK gateways in London and Manchester is approximately 8.5 hours. And your clients will enjoy an average year-round temperature of 27 degrees. Most places, certainly all accommodation, have 110 and 220 electrical outlets, and the currency is the Eastern Caribbean dollar. Another fact that I bet you did not know is that Montserrat is the birthplace of the late soca star Arrow, singer of the famous Hot, Hot, Hot. Yeah, makes you want to get up and dance right away. Coincidentally, yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Arrow's death, and there were some pretty lively commemorative celebrations, if you will, yesterday taking place on the island. Anyway, getting to Montserrat can be a little adventurous, but it really is easy. Antigua is the hub for our international visitors, and in normal times, they have weekly flights from Europe, from Manchester, London, Gatwick, and Frankfurt. And of course, I say normal times because schedules would have changed since Antigua closed their borders and subsequently reopened back in June. I would add that Montserrat's borders have not yet reopened, but we will be dependent on Antigua's flights and route structure once we do. Once you get to Antigua, there are 2 ways to connect to Montserrat. A ferry service operates out of Heritage Quay in downtown Antigua, and about 20 minutes drive from the airport. The ferry has a capacity of 204 seats and is air-conditioned, offering free Wi-Fi. That trip takes 90 minutes. Visitors can also opt to fly, and there are 2 airlines that serve Montserrat, Fly Montserrat and G-Air. Both operate the 9-seater Highlander aircraft, and that journey takes 20 minutes. It is not as adventurous as it sounds. Pretty cool. One of the first things you'll notice when you arrive in Montserrat are the many smiling faces. We are really a happy bunch, and it might be all of that bush rum, and I did not see that in Carol's collection earlier this afternoon. And why not? Just about everyone has an affinity with the outdoors and nature, and that's natural because when you see how lush and green the island is, I'm sure you'll agree. Montserrat has an amazing network of hiking trails, ranging from light to moderate, difficult, and extreme, each with its own characteristics. One of the things that you'll be guaranteed are some amazing views, according to what trail you're on. And you can get some sweeping views of the Caribbean Sea and clear sights of some of the neighboring islands like Antigua, Nevis, Guadeloupe, and the uninhabited Redonda. A few years ago, hikers on the Solia Trail discovered petroglyphs credited to the first known people on Montserrat, the Amerindians. These markings on the rock that you see here are thought by archaeologists to be between 1,000 and 1,500 years old and are a definite must-see. You know, there's a saying, out of tragedy comes opportunity. As a result of the volcanic eruptions in 1995 and 1997, the capital, Plymouth, was buried under more than 60 feet of ash and mud. This gave birth to a buried city and the nickname the modern-day Pompeii. This remains the most popular tour on the island and can only be accessed with a certified guide. Part of the Buried City tour includes a visit to the Montserrat Volcano Observatory, which was established after the first eruption of the Soufrière Hills volcano in 1995. For some time, this was the leading such observatory in the world and has responsibility for volcanic and earthquake monitoring in the English-speaking Eastern Caribbean countries. A key feature of the tour is the airing of a video that shows the lead up to the eruption of the volcano. Another popular tour is a real treat for music lovers and music history buffs. And it actually is one of my favorite spots on the island, the Hilltop Coffee House. Another amazing aspect of Montserrat is what I'd like to call its musical pedigree. Many of the iconic pop songs, pop albums from the 80s were recorded in Montserrat at Air Studios, the sister to Air Studios in central London, owned by Sir George Martin. You can spend a couple hours viewing all of the memorabilia of the artists like the Police, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Paul McCartney, and of course our own Arrow. To get a first-hand look and a better understanding of Montserrat's natural and cultural history, visit the National Museum in Little Bay or the Montserrat National Trust in Salem. The Trust is responsible for the preservation and enhancement of the island's historic sites and natural environment. A museum dedicated to the Soufrière Hills volcano and its impact on the island is currently in the works and should be open in the next 16 to 18 months. There are many locations in Montserrat where you can get some of the most amazing views you can imagine. One of those is Jack Boy Hill on the eastern side of the island. From here you can get a good look at Guadeloupe, and it's also a great picnic site. Visiting the sites and attractions on land is one thing. Doing it from the sea is another. There are a number of operators who offer boat tours along the coastline, and this is where you get to see the dramatic coastal formations, private inlets, and some parts of the island made remote by the volcanic eruptions. One amazing feature of Montserrat is its beaches. Now we know that all the Caribbean is blessed with beaches, beautiful beaches, but what makes ours different is the fact that all but one are made up of black sand. This is due to the volcanic nature of the island. In fact, some of the beaches from the southeast to southwest were actually created within the last 25 years because of the eruptions. This one that you're seeing here is aptly called Beach. And as I said, all but one have this amazing ebony sand. This one, Rendezvous Bay, is the only white sand beach on the island. And like all good things, it requires a bit of work to get to. It's accessible only via a short 40-minute hike from Little Bay or an even shorter kayak or boat ride. And just in case you're wondering, yes, the hit song Ebony and Ivory by Stevie Wonder and Paul McCartney was recorded right here at Air Studios in Montserrat. We are blessed with healthy reefs full of marine life, and this makes for great scuba diving and fantastic snorkeling. Little Bay to the northwest is sheltered and makes for great stand-up paddle and kayaking. Next slide. Despite its small size, Montserrat has a wide variety of bird habitats, giving rise to a range of species found on the island. The Center Hills are of significant global importance and is one of the best places to go bird watching in the Eastern Caribbean. Our national bird is the Montserrat oriole, seen here on the left, and twitchers can also see a range of hummingbirds, bridled quail doves, and other species. Please do not forget your binoculars and your camera. Those are definite must-haves. Turtle season is from May to December, and it's a wonderful sight to see turtles crawling at the beaches to release their eggs. Frequently seen, the green, leatherback, and hawksbill turtles on the popular nesting beaches, They run down the west to the southwest coast. To heighten the experience, also advisable to do the viewings with a certified guide. Our festivals reveal the island's culture, creativity, and talent. And far and away, the biggest one is the St. Patrick's Festival, which celebrates our Afro-Irish heritage. There's a packed 2-week calendar of events, and Montserrat is the only country outside of Ireland to celebrate St. Patrick's Day as a national holiday on March 17th. Other festivals that take place during the year are the annual Carnival, which take place over 10 days in December, culminating on New Year's Day. The Calabash Festival, linked to the calabash fruit and a symbol of our African heritage. A series of cultural activities that take place over a week, ending in a craft and food fair in July. The Cudjoe Head Festival that commemorates the death of a former slave and takes place in August with a number of lively outdoor performances in the village of Cudjoe Head. And there's, of course, the Aliogana Literary Festival that takes place in November. A treat for anyone with an affinity for books and reading. Aliogana, I'm sure you're wondering, that is the original Amerindian name for Montserrat, meaning the land of the prickly bush. To access all of these wonderful sites and attractions is very easy. Public minibuses can be stopped on the main road, and according to where you're going, could cost as little as £2. You can also rent a car or hire a taxi from the Montserrat Tour and Taxi Association. In describing our accommodation offerings on the island, we like to say what we don't have. And what you won't find here are chain hotels or any sprawling all-inclusive resorts. Some of the words used to describe our accommodation properties are quaint, comfortable, homely, charming, family-friendly. We have a number of modest and high-end villas which cater to families or those who just want to pamper themselves for a few days, weeks, or even months. For an additional fee, you can hire your own cook and enjoy local dishes whenever you want. Our villa rental agencies can also arrange your tours, car rentals, and even babysitting services. For those seeking more modest but discreet accommodations, we offer many casual but well-appointed apartments, B&Bs, and guest houses across the island, many of which are close to local eateries, groceries, and mini-marts. If you're lucky, you can stay at one of those properties that has its own garden filled with fruit trees, or you can even pick your local herbs and spices that are used to prepare your meals. I was very fortunate to be able to do that last Friday when I went on an early morning hike. We do have full-service hotels on the island, but just 2. These are the Tropical Mansion Suites with 18 rooms and the Viewpoint Hotel with its cabanas. So if after all of these wonderful experiences, you want to ensure your return to Montserrat, make sure that when you're here, you drink the crystal clear water from the runaway gut. The sign says it all. And that brings me to the end. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today, and look forward to any of the questions at the end. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Warren. Really interesting presentation. I believe that Montserrat is probably one of those destinations that we're not all familiar with. So I think it's a great opportunity to have you here and to learn a lot about some of the things that we didn't know about. And we're going to go straight into a video break presentation all about Montserrat. So let's go straight into that. What an amazing, nostalgic evening with the Caribbean. I mean, that was fantastic. We learned so much about Montserrat, and the video helped us to see even more. But we're going to move straight on now to one of the very popular destinations in the Caribbean, and we're looking tonight at the Ocean Hotels in Barbados, and of course, it's Andrew Hillier. So, Andrew, why don't you come and tell us all about those hotels and familiarize us? Virtual fan
Thank you
trip.
very much, Carol. Oh yes, thank you very much, Carol. This is very exciting being here. I like Carol, have missed for 6 months, and it's so exciting to be back here talking to you about Ocean Hotels in Barbados. Ocean Hotels Barbados is actually 3 hotels. Talking about South Beach, Ocean 2, and Seabreeze. They are represented in the UK by Clear Marketing. And the first thing that we need to talk about is that Barbados is open for business. There are protocols, but I don't want to spend my whole presentation going through the protocols. All I'd like to say to you is please get in touch with Clear Marketing, with CTO, with the Barbados Tourism Authority, and they can go over exactly what you need to know. Just to let you know, if you've got guests going out in the next 4 to 8 weeks, there is a required negative test that should be shown on arrival, 72 hours, taken 72 hours prior. But I don't want to blind you with all that. You can get that information. Next slide shows you that, again, with our hotels, we have a stay safe protocols as well. And here again, I don't want to go through all of these, just to let you know that we do have this as a document that we can send to you. It is very exciting to know that South Beach opened on the 15th of August, Seabreeze Beach House opened on the 1st of September, and Ocean 2 Resorts will be opening on the 23rd of October. And already the feedback that we've had for people staying at Seabreeze has been fantastic. So let's have a look at the hotels now. We're going to start off by, first of all, talking about Barbados. As I said, it is open for business. We have flights going in once a week with Virgin Atlantic on a Saturday, 3 times a week with British Airways. And what's exciting, starting in mid-October, we have a new daily BA service, which will be flying out of Heathrow. Now that's giving the destination, really opening it up to those regional connections and also European connections as well. The 3 hotels I look after are on the south coast. It's the lively coast. It's the fun coast. If we could just go back a minute, it's the lively coast. It's the fun coast. It's just less than 20 minutes from the airport to any one of the 3 hotels here. We're close to Oyston's Fish Market. We're close to St. Lawrence Gap. We're close to Bridgetown. It's a great part of the island to get out and about and see the island. Okay, let's talk about Seabreeze. And the first picture I'd like you on Seabreeze is the next picture, which is, of course, that beach. A couple of years ago, we did lots of renovations, and this is what you see. When you're staying at Seabreeze, whether you're in the bar, the restaurant, the room, or in one of our 3 swimming pools, you are going to be a part of this amazing beach. And already we've got, as I said before, we've got some great feedback from people that have stayed there. Next picture, please. It's very easy to sell the property because it's really just 2 room categories. We have our classic collection rooms, which were the old rooms that have completely been refurbished. They have this lovely beach house kind of feel to them, and they look out over the pool, over the gardens, and some side views of the sea, plus some have the ocean views as well. Next slide, we can see a picture of one of the hotel rooms. And then moving on to the next slide, we've got our classic, our luxury collection. And these were the new rooms that were built in one building, all with the most amazing views. And the next slide will show you those fantastic views. Now, the little secret here is, if you may remember, we're one of the first hotels that can interconnect quite a few of these rooms together. So if you've got configurations of families up to 10 people, we can accommodate them all together in an all-inclusive property on the south coast of Barbados. It's a game changer. Next slide, please. Just to tell you a little bit about the food that's available in in Seabreeze, a choice of 5, including our rum shack and including our fine dining, as well as pizzas and burgers where you can just rock up in your bathing suit. As I mentioned earlier, we've got 3 pools on the property. One pool is an adult-only pool, an adult-only hot tub, family pool, lap pool. Well, that means that it's really popular for families. We can keep them segregated from the honeymooners. Fantastic for an array of guests there. And on the next slide is a picture of the rum shack. They've got a bottle of Mount Gay there, as you see. This is a great place. We like to do these learn to experiences here. So although we're an all-inclusive property, we're in a great location to go out and about. All-inclusive doesn't mean you have to stay at the property. You can go out and about. As I said, this property is very close, short walk to Oyston's Fish Market. But we'd love to do lots of Bayesian activities, steel pan, cooking demonstrations, really get involved. The staff here are absolutely amazing. And then if we go to the next slide, it is this beautiful view for a wedding. Now, we are currently, if you book 7 nights in a luxury ocean view, you do get a free wedding. So you could take your family and friends with you. We don't have the only 6 people rule here. You could take a bunch of your family and friends, and we've got lots of space here to really enjoy a most superb wedding. And that picture says it all. So we're going to move now to Ocean 2. Some exciting things happening here. It still is in until the 1st of June. It is still being sold, as you may remember, from its first inception in 2011 as a bed and breakfast, all suite property on that beautiful beach. If you look at that picture, and just to the left of that picture is where we are building a new part of Ocean 2, and some exciting things happening from the 1st of June next year, which I'll tell you about in just a minute. But let's have a little look at this property. So on the next slide, you'll see those amazing you know very well. The same ones at Sandals, about $800 per sunbed. Theirs are pink, ours are red, but the most fantastic, very comfortable sunbeds. And then if we move on, we have done a lot of renovations to this property to modernize it. These lovely touches. Next slide, you'll see our little restaurant here. Now, currently we are offering bed and breakfast included in the price, but this restaurant will also serve you lunch and dinner if you want, so you don't have to always go off and find food, although we're very close to St. Lawrence Gap, so it's really easy to go out and get food. And then a couple of other touches that I like is here, the swim up bar. Who doesn't love that? We have happy hour 3 times a day. We're a very happy resort. And we have our very popular coconut station, where our local coconut man will chop open a coconut, spike it with a bit of rum, and you can enjoy fresh coconut juice on the beach. And not forgetting our rooftop terrace plunge pool, adult only area. One of the most amazing places to sit and watch the sunset with a cool rum punch in your hand. I've got my rum here. I will be having that a little later. And then finally, the third, and then next slide, I need to tell you about, oh no, I forgot about this. Just quickly, the rooms, we've got the hotel rooms, and then the next slide are the 1-bedroom suites. So that is really easy to sell at Ocean 2. So now what I wanted to tell you, we're going to see the next slide. This is exciting. June 2021, we reopen, we are rebranded as the O2 Beach Club and Spa. We'll be the newest all-inclusive resort on the island, 42 new ocean view suites. Will be new restaurants, new bars. We're going to have a full service spa and wellness center. Lots of those learn to experiences as I told you about at Seabreeze, and another rooftop bar and restaurant. So we're really changing the game. We're very excited about this. We will be in touch with you throughout the next few months to give you updates on how we're doing on that. So don't forget that 1st of June, 2021, the new O2 Beach Club and Spa. And then finally, the little gem in our family, our little South Beach. This is a little 49-room property, which is situated, it's a beautiful little property, not situated actually on the beach, but the next picture shows we're literally across the road from Rockley Beach. This is a stunning beach on the south coast of Barbados, and this is a really fun beach. There's lots of local atmosphere down here, street food, beach food. At the end of the beach, there's an amazing beach bar that has the most amazing sunsets, fantastic place, and happy hours. There's a great vibe down here. What's good about our guests that stay at South Beach, we have a corner of this beach with our own beds and our own services there as well. So no need to scrabble for a sunbed and no need to pay for one on this beach. We have that included as part of your stay. Let's have look at a few pictures inside South Beach. It's quite modern in style, kind of like a Miami Beach hotel. The rooms are really easy to sell. Only 2 types. The first room we see, yeah, it does have a little small swimming pool. We'll just have a quick look at the rooms. This is a junior suite. And then this next slide is a 1-bedroom. So really all we have is a junior suite and a 1-bedroom. The junior suite has a small kitchenette. The 1-bedroom has a bit bigger kitchen facilities, but they are fantastically located to go out and about, really explore Barbados. The final slide, all it's left for me to say is I've really missed you guys, and I can't wait for the day that we get back together and I can actually have a drink with you face to face. But until then, I'll have to take one for the team, won't I? Cheers, everyone. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Oh, that's good.
Yes, that's definitely good, isn't it, Andrew? Just what the doctor ordered. I'm glad you've taken that after the presentation and not before.
Yes.
No, but really great. And
Excellent.
yeah, you've put all the fun into it. I mean, we're all looking forward to going back to Barbados as well and hanging out on those beaches and going to Oystins and everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I suppose people just can't wait. And what's exciting as well is that you're also giving away a 5-night stay later. So that's great. All right. So we're going to go straight on to the final presentation in this section, and that's on Sandals Resorts. So let's welcome Leah Marshall.
Hi there, Carol. Hi there, travel agents. We're absolutely delighted to be able to join this evening. My name is Leah Marshall. I'm the Director of Sales for Sandals and Beaches Resorts based here in the UK. Our contact number, our agency sales department is open. So please do keep in contact with us and we're here to help and support you. So we're here this evening to tell you about what's new with Sandals and Beaches Resorts. Sandals, as you should all know, is the world's only 5-star luxury all-included resorts exclusively for couples only. No children, no singles. If you're a family person, wish to travel with other families or singles or groups, then we have our Beaches Resorts for you to choose from. So I'm going to start the presentation by sharing with you which of our 8 resorts are currently open. Antigua was the first one to reopen since the lockdown in March, and Antigua's been open since June. If you have a look at the island of Jamaica, you'll see that we have 3 resorts now open: Sandals Montego Bay, Royal Caribbean, and Negril. And over in St. Lucia, we opened up Sandals Regency last week, joining Sandals Grand St. Lucian as now open and able to accept our guests. And then moving on to Grenada, that is due to open on the 1st of October. So a little bit longer to wait there. And delighted to say that both resorts in Barbados opened literally just 6 days ago. If you're a family looking to get away to our Beaches Resorts, then our Beaches Resorts that are currently open is just Negril. And you'll see from the slide here, not long to wait for Beaches Ocherius in Jamaica, and a little bit longer for Beaches Turks and Caicos. So this evening, I'd like to share with you what we've been up to over the last 5 months. Sandals has introduced its Platinum Protocol of Cleanliness, and this will help you, our valued travel agent, to confidently book your clients to any of our resorts, From the moment your guests arrive at our private airport lounges to their departure, you can confidently trust us to look after your guests. So we do have our 18 touchpoint practice. Now, I'm not going to go through all 18 of them here, but I'm going to touch on 2 items, our exclusive private airport lounges. As part of our 5-star experience, your guests never have to fend for themselves. We will look after them every step of the way. They will have access to our private lounge at the airport that is reserved for our guests only. And upon entering, they will obviously be given the hand sanitizer, a complimentary mask and gloves, and a cool drink in our luxurious surroundings. Then our airport transfers. We only use our own private transfers for all of our guests. We have reduced the number of guests transported on each type of vehicle to ensure that we maintain our proper social distancing. In addition, the drivers will be wearing a mask and gloves and will provide hand sanitizer for our guests as well. And the vehicles are then also re-sanitized after each trip. So if we now move into the cleaning points within the room, we have a triple check system. Again, I'm not going to go through all of them here, but if you look very closely on this side here, you'll see that the attention to detail that we have maintained. Now, not only in the rooms that you're looking at here, but also within the bathrooms. The bathroom cleaning touch points, next slide, please. You'll see that we do again adhere to the triple check cleanliness system. All of this information is widely available on our websites. Now, one of the most popular activities at our Sandals Resorts is to celebrate a wedding. And yes, weddings are still available. We've got a fantastic wedding guide on our website. Just go to sandals.co.uk/weddings and download that guide. Our UK team are also available to help plan that wedding, and they can be contacted on ukweddings@sandals.co.uk. Yes, we do still do a free wedding package for those guests that stay with us 3 nights or more. We also have a honeymoon program if you register online, and we also have a free anniversary night as well. So if you are actually traveling within 30 days of your wedding anniversary, we can actually award you a free night. So do keep in contact with us and we'll provide you with the full details. My final slide on wedding is the new luxurious locations to choose to get married. We have a weddings location tab on our website, but I wanted to share this with you to make sure you're all aware that we have added that extra element of luxury and included now in certain resorts are beautiful overwater wedding chapels with their glass floors, with the bifolding doors that open out. What better location to actually choose to get married at than one of our new over the water chapels. Now, moving on to talk about a couple of our resorts, because I don't have time this evening to go through all of them. I just want to highlight 2 here in Jamaica, Royal Caribbean and Montego Bay, where if you stay in our top category rooms, you will get that private car transfer. But I also want to take you inside some of the refurbishment work that we've been doing. If you're familiar with Sandals Royal Caribbean, this is the Sandringham building where we've totally evaluated the space available and extended the balconies. And if you click through, you'll actually see what the rooms look like inside. Wow, look at this. So a huge balcony that is the glass front, so you can sit back and relax with your glass of champagne. Remember, we're all inclusive, so this is included and unlimited and replenished daily. And again, if you click through to the next picture, how about this at nighttime? This is one of our new corner suites. So you could be sat there having your dinner. We have tranquility soaking tubs on the balcony, looking out over our overwater suites. And remember, we were the first people to build these luxurious overwater suites in the Caribbean. So if we move on through the slides, you'll see that we're coming to Sandals South Coast, formerly known as Sandals White House. And it's the second resort in Jamaica that have the overwater suites. We've added an overwater bar called Latitudes and an overwater wedding chapel. So this is Jamaica's #1 all beachfront, all ocean view resort. But just have a quick sneak peek of what's coming for the future. We haven't officially announced this yet, but we have developed, if you click on through to the next slide, new Rondavel accommodation. Some oohs and ahs, please, in the room. We are adding the world's first ever swim up Rondavel suites. For those of you that know Sandals and our chairman, Mr. Stewart, we are the innovators in the Caribbean. This is where his brain is working at the moment. Check these out. These are our new Rondavels, due for arrivals from the 10th of December. Pricing should appear on our website by the end of the week. And if you click through, you'll see a few more pictures of the refurbishment that we're doing down at Sandals South Coast with the additional 20 swim up Rondavel suites. We're also completing renovations of the Dutch Village and the lower ground floor of the Dutch Village. We are refurbishing to have a swim up pool area there. So direct swim out rooms. So really excited with that. So as we whiz through my presentation, just want to mention Barbados because it has only just recently opened in the last 10 days. So you're looking at the Sandals First, a gourmet donut shop. Carol was talking about food earlier. I'm with her. I miss the Sandals food, the cuisine, the bars. But don't forget, we are the innovators, and we did add a rooftop pool and bar at Sandals Royal Barbados. The two resorts sit side by side, and you have full exchange privileges between the two. Another exciting development to mention to you, we're opening up in a new destination. This will be our 4th beaches resort and on our 8th Caribbean island. We announced this in the middle of lockdown that we have bought the Buckingham Bay Resort in St. Vincent. It will take us a while to sandalize it or beaches reinvent it. So watch this space. The agreement has been signed and we will be opening in a new destination. Just to finish, to show you the 3 different brochures that we have in the marketplace for you that you can order via BP. We are a tour operator, so you book direct with us now. So we have the main Sandals brochure, the weddings, and the island hopping brochure, which ties everything up that you've learned so far this evening to actually visit more than one destination. Now, as I say, we are a tour operator, so you book direct with us now, and we have a separate travel agency portal on our website. Now, the next slide is one of the best things I think we invented, and that's the air availability calendar. We actually sell 2 years in advance, so you can book flight all inclusive right up until December 2022. Look how easy this air availability calendar is. I've just chosen Sandals Regency here for 7 nights next October, and it shows you the cheapest option in just one click. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is live. If you want to peruse all of our resorts, then we do have a special offers page. Next slide, please. And on the special offers page, you'll see that we advertise this year's offers, next year's, 2022, or if you're looking for upgraded flights, this will all be listed here for you. We have a travel agency Facebook page called Selling Sandals for Agents, so please join that, interact with us, and that's where we put all of our weekly offers, our deals of the days, and videos. We do have a separate travel agency website called sellingsandals.co.uk, so you can click there as well for all the updates of what's going on. We do have an exclusive club for our travel agents where we do reward you, where you can become Sandals specialists. The more you do, the more rewards you can get. Next slide. And there we go. That's one of our top agents there. We have an exclusive club called the Chairman's Royal Club for every agent that sells over 100 rooms with us in a year. So we'll be delighted to welcome more agents to that. And also I want to share with you the airline partners that we work with. British Airways and Virgin, we have preferred preferential status, and we only require a deposit of £175 per person to actually make a booking. So there we go. If you need our air allocation guides, you can get that from both British Airways and Virgin, and we have availability in economy and premium. But a lot of our customers that are booking the top suites will also want to match that with Club World with British Airways, or obviously Virgin's upper class. So we do cater for those premium cabins. So please make sure you quote that when you're looking to recommend your customers come down on a Sandals or Beaches holiday. So it has been a quick whistle stop tour around the Caribbean, but absolutely delighted to have joined me this evening. And I do have all of my business development managers ready and able to take your call, or anything further that you need. Please don't hesitate to contact us at Agency Sales. Thank you.
And thank you too, Leah. And it's really fantastic to know that even during this period of COVID, that there is so much development taking place in the Caribbean, and so much development with Sandals. And I know that Buckerman Bay property, and I think it's really fantastic to know that it's not just going to be there anymore. It's going to be refurbished, rebranded, opened up, and also provide jobs for the community. And that, I think, is fantastic. So really pleased to hear about the developments taking place in the Caribbean via Sandals, and of course Beaches. And we've had a great time. We've had some brilliant presentations, some videos, and we're just going to close out this session with another sponsors video, and that is Anne Chastenay and Jade Mountain from St. Lucia. So let's just join them for a moment before we go into the Q&As and the all-important prize givings. Stay with us. To win a prize, you've got to be with us till the very end, because you've got to say, I'm here. So let's go to our final video from Anne Chastenay and Jade Mountain in St. Lucia. Great. So we've had a few questions come in, and I think one of the questions that I can really summarize and put to any of our presenters here now is, we've been asked, what's the best way to sell the Caribbean right now when there's so much uncertainty regarding bookings and cancellations? What tips or advice can you give to some of the agents here with us now that they in turn can share with their clients? And I don't mind who takes that first. Well, I'll probably ask Leah then. Any ideas or pointers, any tips that you can share right now regarding cancellations and stuff, and how can we really boost people's confidence to book? Because I know that on your tour operator platform and with all the tools that you have, people can actually book well in advance. But how secure should they feel right now?
Absolutely, Carol. They should feel very secure of booking now. We need, obviously, people to travel. And one of the key things that has happened with our bookings is where they were booking us for a honeymoon, they're now adding on a wedding because their wedding actually got cancelled in the UK. We're able to move our clients, those that were traveling during the time that we were shut, very easily to the future years. And during the 5 months that we've been in this COVID situation, we've put 2023 on sale. And with a deposit of £175 per person and the current savings message of up to 45% off, there's never been a better time to travel. St. Lucia, a week, luxury all-inclusive at Sandals is $15.49 per person. There's never been a better chance to book and secure that now.
Thank you, Leah. So that means there's some great offers out there. Now, Florian, I know that you've been monitoring the chat. Is there any questions have come in that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, there are a couple of ones, and especially the ones that aligns with the previous one that we've had, Carol. One of them is we've seen in the booking trends that secluded accommodation and activities of the big contracts have become very popular. And people would like to know from and hear from our presenters what are their favorite and recommendation when it comes to secluded accommodations and resorts, and also all of the beaten tracks activities that they can do in the Caribbean. And maybe we could start with Darren, and he could suggest some of his recommendations for the secluded accommodations in Dominica.
Dominica benefits from being very intimate. Many of the properties on the island are quite small and secluded. It's only within the last year and a half it started entering the hotel resort competition phase, where you've got the Kempinski, and you've also got the Anici resort. But the rest of the properties on the island are very small and secluded. You've got Jungle Bay, which is a cluster of villa properties, 2 rooms each. There's 60 in total, 60 rooms available in total. So again, it's very small, very intimate. It grows its own food. It's a holistic well-being property. So there's yoga every morning, and you learn how to make healthy food and juicing. So definitely Jungle Bay is one to look out for. And then you've also got Secret Bay, again, which is another small cliff top property right on the coast, the northwestern coast of the island. It's at the moment it has 6 villa properties, and each villa has 2 rooms, and each villa comes with its own chef as well. So before you arrive, they ask you, what your dietary requirements are, and if there's anything you need, and they sort of like curtail a menu that's specifically designed for you. So those are the 2 more secluded properties. Otherwise, there's a lot of private villas on the island, which at the moment, I know there's an argument for or against Airbnb, but there's a lot of private properties, villa properties on the island that you can also explore, especially if you want to travel as a small group and you want to sort of like have that bubble of intimacy for yourselves.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much, Darren.
Right. Did Montserrat want to add anything? Because from your presentation, we've seen that it's definitely a destination where you can practice social distancing and find some hidden gems.
Yeah, we didn't realize that we were doing a trendy thing all these years because social distancing is the way of life here in Montserrat, particularly as it comes to the accommodations. The bulk of our plant is in the villas, B&B guest house category, and as I said in the presentation, we just have 2 hotels, one of which has 18 rooms and the other has a few cabanas. So really and truly, the bulk of the room stock you would find in some really cool villas. There are a lot of villas that I'm still finding, as I drive around the island, really hidden away and very, very well. And there's certainly also a great number of really nice small B&Bs and guest houses. So, we're similar to Dominica in some respects, just that we have not gotten into the, larger hotel development, plans as yet.
Great stuff. Thank you. Florian, did we have another question before we go into the prize drawing?
Actually,
No.
if you don't mind, I'd actually like to add to that Florian's question about being secluded. I think that the Caribbean in general, right now, each island, especially Aruba, has a very clear protocol on how to enter the island. Once the guests have chosen the island that they would like to go to, the protocols are usually very clear, although each island may be a little bit different. But if you talk about seclusion right now, you're never going to get a more secluded vacation in the Caribbean than right now. For those that want to travel, that are willing to travel, that love to take that kind of, be alone, the beaches are empty, the hotels are there for you. It's not going to get any more secluded, more romantic, and more lovely than it is right now. So if you want to travel, the islands are safe. They have great protocols. They have COVID completely under the control. They've had very few cases in general. So I can recommend, of course, Bukuti, which is our #1 resort in the Caribbean, but I can recommend really any of it because it's all there just for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well said. And I think also in Irene's presentation, we learned a lot more about, the islands, the Cayman Islands and Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. So what we're saying to everyone is explore more. There is so much to offer in the Caribbean. And certainly this has really created the opportunity for us to look beyond the obvious and to really explore some of the hidden gems across the Caribbean. They've always been there, and now the time is right. So I know that we've had the agents with us for quite some time now, and we're quite ready to get into the drawing, but I didn't know if there was another question that Florian had before we moved on.
I think we've covered everything here.
Great stuff. Well, listen, I just want to say that today's presentation will be hosted on caribbean.co.uk. So you'll have the opportunity not only to watch the video again, to hear some of the presentations, but also we've received lots of links with information on protocols, destination videos, and everything can be found in the trade section on caribbean.co.uk, because we know that you as travel professionals, you take your role serious, and now more than ever you want to ensure that you can offer your clients the best. And that's why we've brought these experts here together today to speak to you and to assure you that we're here for you. We've got the information and we're backing you all the way as you continue to back the Caribbean. So thank you for your support, and we're going to go into our prize draws now. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you to all our presenters today. I think you all take us Caribbean dreaming, thinking, some of us drinking as well, and hopefully booking very soon. Tonight, we are very happy that we have the chance to reward the agents who support us all the time by offering them 2 grand prizes. How we're going to proceed is very, very simple. We've put your names into a software, so it's an online software, which should randomly pick a winner. Once you see your name pop up on the screen, that means that you've won. So what we would like to do is to whether unmute yourself or put in the chat box winner, so we can ensure that you get your prize, and we want to reward whoever stayed till the end. So we thank you very much for staying here, and we're gonna get started very soon. The first prize for today is, let's say, a very special one, because we're gonna start with an island which will steal your heart. Not only because it was presented by Darren, but also because it is kept as one of the, I would say, best secret of the Caribbean. And we are naturally talking about the nature island of Dominica. And the island is patiently waiting to welcome you, and one of you will have a chance to do so tonight on a future fam trip in 2021. So let's now see who is the first winner for tonight. So as I said, if you see your name pop up, just unmute yourself or say winner. Chrissy Mackenzie, congratulations, Chrissy. Are you still with us? Please manifest yourself. Yes, Chrissy, congrats. No, not yet. Chrissy Mackenzie, are you still with us? Yes, congratulations. Congratulations, Chrissy. I'm sure you will love the amazing nature island of Dominica. Now, it's time to pick the second winner. And we're going to take you to Barbados with the amazing ocean hotels presented by the lovely Andrew. And Ocean Hotels are spoiling with one of you tonight with a fabulous 5-night stay in Barbados for 2 people. 3 nights on a bed and breakfast basis at South Beach, followed by 2 nights all-inclusive at Seabreeze Beach House. So Andrew really misses you, as he said, and he's sharing some serious love with the agents today. So thank you again, Andrew, for your lovely prize. And let's now see who is the second lucky winner for tonight. Countdown. Peter Foster. Congratulations, Peter. If you're still with us, could you please let us know? Peter Foster. No one yet? Peter? Oh, congratulations, Peter. You're here with us still. Excellent. Congratulations to all of you. We still have a couple of surprises for you, but just in the essence of time, we will draw them after the session, and the prize providers will get in touch with you very soon. Thank you very much. Congratulations to the winners, and I hand over to Carol now.
Great. So that's fantastic. We've given away some lovely prizes, and I'm so happy for everyone who's won tonight. We've also got a few goodie bags, but in the essence of time, we're going to draw a couple of those prizes offline, and then we'll notify the winners. So it's time to say goodbye. And I really want to thank everyone who's joined us tonight. I want to thank the headline sponsor for tonight, which was Bakuti and Tara Beach Resorts. Also want to thank the Cayman Islands, Discover Dominica, Montserrat, Ocean Hotels Barbados, Sandals. We've had a wonderful evening. So thank you to every single person, to my colleague Florian, to the technical team. One final wave, and thank you all so much. Thank you. It's been lovely. Thank you.